Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, I'm Yanik. Ever since I was a kid, people have called me Mama's Boy. You might think that's an insult, but actually, what's this doing? You might think that's an insult, but actually that just means I'm good at giving women special attention. So I made a post about that online. I wrote a post about that online, and somebody got upset. Surprising, I know. They wrote, "Men don't feel emotions." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "It's true. I read it in a book." Facebook? So my first instinct was to assume that this person was wrong. The reason for that, and I'm serious, her name was Karen. So despite that, I was kind of curious, so I decided to look up the definition for emotion, and it turns out it's an energy that leads to motion. So I sent this definition to Karen, and she says to me, "Prove it, robot." I'm like, "What?" She says, "Prove to me that you feel emotions, or I'm going to tell your mom that you're not a mama's boy and you're nothing but a dirty, dirty liar." So I'm like, okay. So I open up a porn site on the side. I feel an energy build up in my pants and slowly lead to motion. And I took a time-lapse video of it. I sent it to Karen with the caption, "Look at that beautiful male emotion." So now that we established that mother's boys exist and that men feel emotion, I could tell you this story. So one year on Mother's Day, instead of buying my mother a card like a normal person, I decided to make her a card. So I drew a nice little heart with two arms on the side, and underneath it read, "I love you this much." Right? I told you, mama's boy. So my mom, she's like, "Oh, that's so cute." She gives me a big hug. Take notes, people. And she's like, "Oh, okay, I gotta tell your dad." She's like, "Honey." So my dad walks in, and she shows him the card, and my dad looks at it, and he says, "I love you this much." He's like, "Oh, that's how much I love your mother right now." I was in second grade. So during the pandemic, it was a rough time for everybody, and my mother, part of those people. So I went to visit my mother, and the first time I went to visit her, I wanted to ask her permission to mention her in this comedy set, and she told me, "Don't you dare." I was like, "Okay, all right." I put her in every joke. I just hope she won't cut me out of her will. So I went to visit her again another time, and I show up, knock on the door, and but the door just swings open. My mom's there, and she's like, "Yanik, I missed you." She rushes out, she grabs me, takes off my mask, and she gives me this big sloppy kiss on the mouth. I'm like, "Oh, Mom, what are you doing?" Pushed her out, I'm like, "Ah, God damn it." Oh. That was my first kiss. But, I love my mom, I really do. She actually believes that I can get a girlfriend. She often says, "If I were your age, I'd be falling head over heels for you." Right? I mean, she's legally obligated to tell me this. But all of her friends also tell me this, and so does my grandma. All right? Got some horny friends you got there, Mom. Not to mention Grandma. So, the phrase goes, "If I was your age, I'd be falling head over heels for you, but if I become their age, they'll be falling head over heels for me too," right? So that means when I grow up, I'm gonna be such a pimp. So I've been reading this old book that my mother has. There's the mom again. And this book told me that virginity is my most valuable asset, and that without it, people may think that I'm a slut. In hindsight, I think this book was meant for girls. But I was very woke that day. I thought to myself, the separation of men and women is a social construct. I was either woke or high. So I was a little worried about, people thinking I'm a slut, so I decided to go downtown, Byward Market, to interview women and ask them if they thought this was true. So there's a lot of people I came up to, and I was like, hey, and then they're like, keep walking, Jesus. I was like, Jesus? I was like, oh, my COVID hair. But eventually I found someone willing to speak to me, so I said, excuse me, would you say that virginity is my most valuable asset? And she said, oh. I think so. And then she did this, and she whispered in my ear, she said, why don't we make experience your most valuable asset? I was like, oh, okay. Would this make me a slut? And she took me by the hand, and I went home with her that night. I gotta say, my emotions got the best of me. Thank you very much.